So I've got to believe that most of my subscribers, most of the people that watch me here on YouTube, are at least in some small way aware of the protests that are going on in many cities here in the United States now. The main body of the protesters is in New York City, near Wall Street, in a little park called Zuccotti Park, and they're gathered there under the banner of Occupy Wall Street. I was aware that Occupy Wall Street was going to happen months before the September 17th deadline. And as soon as I heard about it, I wanted to be there. You know, I've made no bones about the fact that I am a person who's sick and tired of talking about the problems that face us as a country, as a species. I'm sick and tired of yelling and screaming at my microphone and making these angry, strongly worded YouTube videos that just get sent out into the echo chamber that is my subscriber base to get parroted back at me with positive comments. I'm tired of it because I know that it doesn't change anything. I've at times snowed myself into thinking that it does. Well, at least you're speaking out, Paul. Golly gee whiz, Paul, at least your voice is being heard by a group of people. But if I'm honest with myself, and if we're all honest with ourselves, the problems that face us are going to require more than just sitting down in front of your webcam in your nice, comfy computer chair and bitching. So as soon as I heard about these protests, I wanted to be there. And as the deadline of September 17th, 2011 got closer and closer, I fell into a pretty deep depression because I knew in the back of my mind that as entertaining and adventurous as it was for me to imagine myself there standing shoulder to shoulder with these people, that I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to do it because I wasn't willing to accept the very real repercussions that it would have had on my life. I, like most people who are lucky enough to have a job in this economy, don't have a job where I can just pick up and leave for months at a time and come back and expect my job to be here. If I would have participated in this protest in any real way, I almost certainly would have lost my job. I, once again, like most people, am 3 or 4 paychecks from utter destitution. I've got a little bit of money socked away, but if I were to lose my job and have to take a job where I'm not making enough money or not able to find a job, as so many people are in this country and worldwide now, I'd have maybe 2, maybe 3 months worth of keeping my home, and then I would lose my home. And as that deadline approached, I admitted to myself that I was not willing to put myself in the firing line in that way. And I became depressed. And that feeling that I've talked about of hopelessness and helplessness and impotence dragged me down into a depression. Because I knew that I was just going to be relegated to sitting in front of this webcam and bitching to you. And that I was going to change nothing. Last night, I tuned into the live stream that happens every day from Zuccotti Park in New York. It shows what the protesters are up to. It was evening time. I sat down and decided to check out what was going on. And I happened to tune in to see the lead singer of one of my favorite bands of all time, Neutral Milk Hotel, a guy named Jeff Mangum, playing a live, unplugged set for the entire park. And I watched the whole thing and watched the people that were gathered around him and listened to the people that were gathered around him cheering and singing along and applauding every time he finished a song. And I just thought to myself, you know, these are people that a lot of them have been camped in a park for 19 days at this point. A lot of them have been falsely arrested, beaten by the cops, hosed down with pepper spray, corralled like animals. Every time they try and put up so much as a tarp to cover themselves if it's raining, or to shield their electronic equipment from the moisture, the cops storm the park and tear their shelters down. And here they are, in these horrible circumstances, gathered around, smiling. And I knew I had to do something. I knew I had to... Sitting around and being depressed about this, sitting around and feeling impotent and feeling helpless and hopeless and powerless in this situation is doing nothing. And so I took stock. And that's what I want to talk about here today. It's taking stock. In order to really talk about this, we've got to establish a fact. And this is a fact that I know people are uncomfortable with in this country. The fact is that there's a war going on, and I'm not talking about Operation Iraqi Freedom or whatever ridiculous name we've given that these days. I'm not talking about the war in Afghanistan. I'm not talking about, our new war in Libya. I'm talking about a war right here on American soil. A war that is being waged not at this time with guns, but with money. A war that's being waged by the top 1% of wage earners in this country against the rest of us. And there are people that are already throwing their hands up in the air and saying, "No, you're talking about class warfare, Paul, and that's not what this is." Well, I'm sorry to fucking tell you, it's time to admit to ourselves what it is. Because these people, this top 1% that I'm talking about, don't give a fuck about you. Grandma's sick. Sorry, Grandma Tilly. Looks like you need to shrivel up and die. Just curl up and fucking die. Got a little girl or a little boy with cancer? Fuck you. Fuck you. Watch your kid die. I don't give a fuck. Lost your job, lost your house, lost your self-respect. Don't talk to me about it. I don't give a fuck. These people don't care about you. They care about one thing, and one thing only, and that is their ability to accumulate money. And they're willing to step over 1 million emaciated corpses to get there. They don't give a fuck. They proved that in 2008. They proved that in 2008 when all of them saw what was coming. Every last one of them knew that what they were doing was unsustainable and probably driving the global economy to the brink of utter fucking collapse. And they still chose the short-term profit over the long-term sustainability. They chose their ability to rake in wads of cash at your expense over your life. And we were that close. They've proven that they don't give a fuck about you. And they're winning this war. We've seen it over and over again, what happens when a group of people catch wise to this and decide that they're going to protest. And if they show up with enough people and their voices are loud enough, guess who shows up right afterwards? Here come the cops. Here come the cops who are paid with our tax dollars, who are charged with protecting and serving us as citizens of this country, as citizens of the cities that this protest is going on in. And these cops show time and time and time again who it is that they really protect and serve. You show up with enough people, with loud enough voices, with an incendiary enough message, and here come the fucking cops in full riot gear, with their shields and their spit masks and their bulletproof vests and their clubs or weighted batons and their giant industrial-sized cans of pepper spray. And they're going to beat the shit out of you. They're going to run you over. They're going to hose you down with chemicals or high-pressure water cannons until your spirit is broken and you go home. And you want to look me in the eye and tell me there's not a war going on in this country. So I took stock knowing this last night, and I asked myself, what can I do? And I came up with 2 answers, both of which I've either already done or intend to do in the course of this video. I asked myself, what can I do? And the first thing that came to my mind was I could donate some money. These people are in desperate need of supplies. These people that are camped out in cities all over the country are living on charity. They need water, they need food, they need warm clothing, they need medicine, they need shelter. These things don't just appear out of thin air. I don't have a lot of money. But last night, after watching them gathered around, listening to that music, still smiling, still singing along, still standing firm after being beaten and drug into the fucking streets and rounded up onto the Brooklyn Bridge and arrested for no reason other than being there, being corralled into a pen and then sprayed down with chemicals that burned their eyes and their throat. They were still there. And I said to myself, I can't be there, but I'm going to do something. So I donated $100. It was probably more money than I had to donate. Well, I guess it wasn't because I'm still here. But it was certainly more money, more disposable income than I'm typically used to throwing away at one time. And I did that, and knowing full well that I'm the type of person that would normally look at a token thing like that as worthless and a drop in the bucket, I felt better. Because at least I'd done something. And then I asked myself, what else do I have? And I only came up with one answer, and that answer was you, the people who watch me here on YouTube. I'm in a somewhat unique position, globally speaking. I know I'm not unique on YouTube. I'm nowhere near the top of the heap on YouTube. There are thousands of other people that have as many subscribers or more than I do. But when you look at the global picture, there are not many human beings on this planet that can make a video, hit a button, upload that video to fucking YouTube, and have between 10 and 20,000 people hear every word they say. Globally, it's a unique position. And so I decided to do something that I've never done here on my channel. The entire course of my channel, I've never asked you, my subscribers, for anything. I've never come to you for donations in times of economic distress. I'm a YouTube partner who's never monetized a video. I've never made a penny from YouTube. I've never asked you for anything, and that's going to change today. I'm speaking specifically to those of you that have watched my videos over the last year or so. You know, when I took a sharp turn away from doing nothing but offering social criticism, social commentary with regards to religion, and started talking about American exceptionalism and economic stratification and injustice in this country, the distractibility of Americans seeming desire to distract themselves with bullshit while the world burns around them. And I've done pretty much nothing but talk about those things on my channel for the last year. And the response from you, those that watch me, has been overwhelmingly fucking positive. I get thousands of comments, thousands of ratings, thumbs up ratings. I get hundreds upon hundreds of PMs from people telling me, thanks, Paul, for saying what you said. I agree with you. I know there are a lot of you out there that maybe you've never rated one of my videos. Maybe you've never commented on my videos. Maybe you've never sent me a PM or interacted with me in any way. And yet you still come away after watching one of my videos nodding your head and saying, you know what, he's right. So I'm speaking to you. I'm asking you to do what I did last night. I'm asking you to take stock and ask yourself what you can do. If it's true that you agree with me, if it's true that you agree with me that something needs to be done, and that something has to be something other than bitching on the internet, it has to be something other than a positive comment on a paulsego video. If you agree that something needs to be done, then I'm asking you to take stock. Now, maybe you don't have money. I'm not trying to browbeat you into giving money that you don't have, so please don't take this that way. Maybe you don't have any money. Maybe you don't have the ability to give $5, $10, $20. I've been there. Hell, I might be there soon. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for me. I don't have a lot of disposable income, and there was a point in time on this channel where I had none. I wouldn't have been able to give $5. I didn't have $5 to give. I was lucky to just get by. And if that's you, don't feel bad. But maybe you are in a position where you have some disposable income. Maybe you are in a position where you can put your money where your mouth is. and donate to the people who are putting their lives on the line, to stand up and say, no. No. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to trample my life in pursuit of your next fucking yacht. People that are willing to get up out of their computer chairs and off of their couches. I guarantee you there are people at these protests right now who have lost their job because of it. There are people that are braver than I am, willing to sacrifice more than I'm willing to sacrifice. Do I know for a fact that what they're doing is going to change anything? No. In fact, you know me. There's a huge cynical part of me that says, oh, this is just going to fade away. But you know what? At least they're trying. I've heard some people that I subscribe to, I've seen some videos here on YouTube where people have said some pretty disparaging things about the men and women that are participating in this protest. I've heard them compared to dirty hippies who are camping out in a park, playing bongos and braiding each other's hair and singing Kumbaya. You're perfectly entitled to your opinion, but you'll never hear me say anything like that about these people. When I see these people, I'm proud. I feel a sense of pride that I haven't felt in my adult life when it comes to my country when I see these people. When I see these people who have been beaten and arrested for no good reason and locked in unventilated vans for hours on end until they fucking piss themselves. Getting hosed down with chemicals, having their little lean-tos torn down day after day after day, being rounded up like fucking cattle at a slaughterhouse. When I see these people, still 19 days later, standing in defiance, I am proud of what they're doing. So you're not going to hear disparaging remarks out of me. I'm not going to sit here in my comfortable little air-conditioned room on my comfortable little computer chair and disparage what these people are doing. And I hope you don't either. I'm going to link in the description to the official website where you can donate money. I'm also going to link to a thread on reddit.com in the Occupy Wall Street subreddit that lists a bunch of things that the people in Zuccotti Park urgently need. Supplies, food, clothing. So maybe you'd feel better sending them a care package. Maybe you'd like to go out and go shopping and buy bandages and triple neosporin and blankets and warm sweaters and warm socks and box all that up. There'll be information down here in the description for you to do that too. Maybe you don't have money, but maybe you do have time. I know for a fact that I've got at least several hundred people that live in and around New York that watch my videos on a regular basis. Maybe you live near one of the other cities that's having one of these protests. Maybe you can go. And let me tell you what I'll do for you if you do that, okay? Here's what I ask. If you live in a city where you can make it to one of these things, if you can make it to New York and stand shoulder to shoulder with these people, if you have access to a smartphone with a camera on it, or you can ask around and ask people if you can borrow a camera and film yourself for a few minutes. And if you get that video to me, I will put it up on my channel. No questions asked. If I get multiples of these, I will edit them all together and put them all up on my channel. No questions asked. I'll link your name, I'll link your channel in the description, and you'll get a personal fucking thank you from me. I will put that shit up on my channel. All I ask of you is that you tape something, just so I know that you didn't take somebody else's footage and call it your own, that you introduce yourself, you mention this video or my channel in some way, and that you talk for a couple of minutes about why you're there, why you feel it's important to stand up, why you feel it's important to join with the other people that are occupying whichever city it is that you can make it to. Or maybe you could walk around and interview people that are already there. I don't care what you do. You send me that video. You somehow get it up on YouTube and let me know about it, or upload it to MediaFire where I can go download it from there, and I will put that video up on my channel. I fucking promise. Maybe you can't do that either. Maybe you're a person that's got a little bit of an audience here on YouTube. I know there are people that subscribe to me that have thousands more subscribers than I will probably ever have. There are people that have a couple hundred, couple thousand, maybe 10 or 15. Maybe that's what you can do. Maybe you can make a video response to this video asking your subscribers to do the same thing I'm asking you to do. Make your own video. Reference this video, use this video as a guide, make your own video, and ask your subscribers to do something. Maybe all you've got to offer me is an idea. Maybe that's what you can do. Maybe you don't feel comfortable making a video, can't make it to one of the protests, can't donate any money. But maybe you have an idea for something that I could do with this channel, with the limited scope that I have here on YouTube, to do something other than just sit here and rant and rave and bitch at my camera. Maybe you know. Maybe you've got an idea. Maybe you can share that with me. I'm asking you to do something. I'm asking you to do something. I'm asking you to try and do something other than complain about this. I'm asking you to take as much direct action as you are comfortable with, as much direct action as you can afford, and I'm asking you to let me know that you did it. For those of you that do take me up on this, and I'm sure there'll be a few, I find it hard to properly express how much I appreciate you. You know, I've spent a lot of years as a very hopeless human being. I've spent a lot of years depressed and angry and feeling just helpless in the face of all these problems that we face. And for those of you that do take part in this, I want you to know that I do not have the words to properly express how much I appreciate you. You, in some small way, through all my jaded facade, give me a little bit of hope. And as a hopeless man, that's invaluable. And just in case anybody at one of these protests has access, maybe one of my subscribers is already there and they're watching this video, I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of what you're doing, and I wish I could be there. I can't at this time. It's not my time, I guess, but I'm going to do whatever I can. I'm going to do whatever I can to stand in support of you. So thank you for what you're doing. And to the rest of you, well, I hope you take what I said seriously. I hope you think about it. I hope you take stock. Till next time, peace.